Come along with us as we build our 20 by 60 foot growth span high tunnel. The first thing we had to do was get everything totally straight and square. I think my favorite part of this time lapse is watching the clouds move in the sky. Once we had all the holes dug, we had to cement in every post. The hardest, most tedious part of putting up the high tunnel, hoop house, whichever term it is. We've got all of the base pipes in. I think there's 32. It's actually taking us way longer than you would think because the ground right here is extremely shallow. We only have about 4 inches of topsoil there. And then you hit solid shale and you have to either use a pry bar or a jackhammer and just break through it inch by inch, and it takes forever. And we've had a bunch bunch of snow, a bunch of rain, a bunch of windy days. It's been really cold. So the boys been out here working a few holes a day, and it's just been tedious. And then we finally got them all dug today, and you have to do each and every hole and make sure it's square and straight, which is also tedious and took forever. But they're all in, and once they all set, maybe tomorrow, depending on the weather, we should be able to start putting up some of the framing. So that's pretty darn exciting. A super momentous day. The first rafter went up. My 2 contractor sons came out to help us, and we did get a lot done this day. We've made a bunch of progress on the hoop house. To be honest, we should be way further along than we are, but the entire process of this, the instruction manual, everything that they've given us, it's just been a complete nightmare, honestly. So difficult to understand. It makes no sense. It's incomplete. It's erratic. Jumps all over the place. Lots of stuff that doesn't even tell you you're supposed to do. And lest you think that it's just me not being able to understand it, I had my general contractor son and my does construction for a living son helping us this weekend, and the whole thing is just so poorly done. But hopefully we'll be able to knock this out, get it actually done in the next week or two, and then I can get things planted. That's the hoop house behind me. We've got, let's see, those, they call them skirting boards up on each side. And you attach these metal pieces, they call them U-channels, to those. And that's what you attach the plastic that goes over the roof to. And this model actually has roll-up sides, so they'll be attached to that too. Still need to finish putting in, there's like 5 more rafter supports. And then we have to build the end wall frames. But the whole process has been pretty slow. I've said it before, the instructions that come with this are really confusing. They're not straightforward, they're incomplete, they're erratic, and they also make no sense. And we've been able to find a few YouTube videos that kind of show how people put theirs together, but there's nothing that's really step by step. So a lot of this stuff we're still just, kind of trying to figure out what makes sense. I so would not recommend this, but I'm hopeful that we're actually going to get it finished and planted here in the next 2 weeks, I hope. This was a super exciting day. We were finally ready to put the cover on. We got everybody up at 5 so we could get it on before the wind started. And everything was going great until we realized they shorted us on the connectors to attach it to the frame. FarmTek calls it spring wire, everybody else calls it wiggle wire, but we had to make an 80-mile round trip into town and buy all the wiggle wire we could find in town just to continue with the project. So that was a little frustrating. We did the end panels in some of the leftover hard plastic from building our smaller greenhouse last year. That came out really nice. And we finally finished. Now it's time to put in the weed cloth and get ready for planting. Using a propane torch to burn in the holes for planting into the weed cloth. We're super happy with the final product, with the exception of the roll-up doors on the ends. Those don't work very well in the wind we have, so we're going to replace those with some barn doors on hinges. But this is going to extend our growing season and make it possible to grow a lot more tomatoes and peppers and things that really need that heat. So we're really excited about that. I wish that I could recommend the company we bought it from, but in good conscience, I just can't. It was such a struggle getting this built. The instructions were so hard to understand. Parts weren't labeled. We wasted a lot of time, trying to figure out what was what because nothing was labeled, and then shorting us on the wiggle wire. It all just made it hard. So I would recommend looking for a different company if you were going to build something like this. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, and have a blessed day. And if you've enjoyed our content, please like and subscribe.